Those who committed this international crime will be held accountable, and together we will bring to justice everyone responsible.
No one should and no one has the right to use this tragedy to achieve selfish and narrow political goals. Events like this one should not divide but unite people.
They will try to do their best to hide the facts or to twist the facts, so it may remain a mystery forever.
At the station of Torres, 9 miles from where flight MH17 came down, a train waits by the platform. It bears the dead of flight MH17, lives claimed by a war that wasn't theirs and which continues to rob them of any dignity. It is a measure of the chaos surrounding the crash that the briefest of inspections by Dutch forensic specialists is heralded as an achievement.
This is the second time we are on this site here today. The OSCE Special Monitoring Mission to Ukraine has now for the second time monitored the situation of the refrigerated wagons here. We have seen them opened, we have witnessed the body bags inside, and we have brought today along with us specialists from the Netherlands that arrived early this morning in Donetsk, and I would like now to pass on the floor to my colleague from the Netherlands for his first impressions here. Thank you.
I have watched the train and the wagons, and I think the storage of the bodies is good of quality.
Flanked by pro-Russian rebels, it may be a sign that Vladimir Putin is beginning to bring the separatists into line.
No one should and no one has the right to use this tragedy to achieve selfish and narrow political goals. Events like this one should not divide but unite people. Everything must be done to ensure the safety of international experts on the scene. Today there are already working representatives of Donbass, Donetsk, representatives of the Ministry of Emergencies of Ukraine, experts from Malaysia, but this is not enough.
Vladimir Putin may have been unable to resist addressing his critics, but under intense international pressure, he is finally making overtures in the right direction. The problem is that both the train and the crash site occupy territory pro-Russian separatists have taken from Ukraine. And that leaves a power vacuum where nothing is as it should be.
We sent 2 trains. These bloody guerrillas do not allow the train to leave the area. Ukrainian government is ready to transfer an international investigation to our Dutch friends. Dutch side could lead the process of investigation together with the entire international community and Ukrainian authorities. We are ready to transfer all bodies directly to Amsterdam as one of the best well-equipped forensic laboratories located in Amsterdam.
Back at the crash site, it is day 4 of the recovery process and the first time heavy machinery has been brought in. But it's arrived before a single air accident investigator has even laid eyes on the wreckage. Ukrainian workmen ploughing their way through where forensic specialists should be gently sifting for evidence. There is nothing ordered about this, and although bodies are being found, vital clues about what happened to MH17 may be lost forever.
there can be quite relevant wreckage. One tread by a boot will tread it into the ground and it will never be found again. Hopefully in this case there's going to be sufficient wreckage features still around that will, at the end of the day, give a pretty complete story.
The problem is, the gun still rules here. The separatists decide who comes and goes and what investigators can see. This isn't what a crime scene should look like, but nothing is normal in eastern Ukraine anymore. The international community wants a humanitarian corridor opened up to allow its teams in, but that won't be easy. The separatists blew up this railway bridge to stop advancing government tanks. A short distance away, fields are on fire, the latest mortar attack on government positions. There are soldiers, rebels, and checkpoints everywhere. And this is the environment where the investigation into MH17 must happen. In nearby Slavyansk, they doubt how much influence over the separatists Putin really has. Svetlana Kupseba says truth now is in such short supply that what happened to the plane may never be solved.
They will try to do their best to hide the facts or to twist the facts or to make it seem like something else. Try to make anybody blame except for them.
So the truth may never really come out.
So it may remain a mystery forever.
There is enormous sympathy for the dead here in Ukraine. Outside the Dutch embassy in Kiev, flowers and messages pile up. The president meeting diplomats from the country whose citizens made up over half of the dead. He emerged with a promise.
Today I declare the ceasefire in the radius of 40 kilometers on the period of investigation. I send my plane to deliver the international experts to the zone of the anti-terroristic operation where the tragedy happens. And I think that the enormous pressure we arranged today on those people who control these terrorists will bring the efforts, and we will, I cross finger, I hope that within the next 24 hours we can arrange the access of the representative of the country who severely suffered from this tragedy to the bodies.
That investigation will need flight MH17's 3 black boxes. Pictures emerged yesterday of one of the flight's data recorders being removed from the crash scene by a Ukrainian emergency worker. Their exact location is still unknown, despite this assurance from the separatists.
We can reveal we discovered some technical details of those devices, which to our mind might be the so-called black boxes, so those objects are in Donetsk under my supervision. We are waiting for the International Civil Aviation Authority representatives, to whom we're ready to hand over those objects.
David Cameron has made it clear that if the situation doesn't improve, the UK will urge other European leaders to consider imposing oil, gas and banking sanctions against Russia.
For too long, there has been a reluctance on the part of too many European countries to face up to the implications of what is happening in eastern Ukraine. It is time to make our power, influence and resources felt. Over the weekend, I agreed with Chancellor Merkel and President Hollande that we should push our partners in the European Union to consider a new range of hard-hitting economic sanctions against Russia. We should take the first step at the Foreign Ministers' meeting in Brussels tomorrow. And if Russia does not change course, then we must be clear that Europe must keep increasing the pressure.
There's optimism they'll find support.
I think there is now a change of mood, certainly something I detect. even in those member states that previously were much more reticent. And we have always been at the forefront with other member states, particularly those in Central and Eastern Europe, who feel that a robust response is now needed. A firm, robust response is needed because only Vladimir Putin can change the dynamic, the tragic dynamic that led to this in the first place, and he needs to be under no misapprehension at all about the strength of feeling across the European Union and indeed the international community.
Nowhere is that deeper felt than the Netherlands, where mourners have been shielded from the cameras for a private meeting with the country's king, queen and prime minister. There has been outrage here at the way the dead have been treated, an emotion shared by the British family of Liam Sweeney.
Somebody lying somewhere, it's not right, because they're still there, they're still people, still humans. There needs to be dignity, and there's in certain reaches of the world, should I say, there's not enough dignity.
And while the weight of evidence suggests pro-Russian militants shot the doomed plane down, everything now depends on getting accurate information on flight MH17's last moments and bringing its passengers home. Rachel Younger, Sky News.